As long as you go with whatever happens in your life and your career, I think it'll be funny.
What's the most bizarre situation you've been in, you know, when you've met celebrities, if you like?
I showed up at the O2 Comedy Gala before, and N-Dubs were on, obviously. and I think one of them was kicking up that a meal had been ordered, and I think they'd asked for like peri-peri chips, and they got normal chips basically, and they were going mental at this runner. But I'd just arrived from Glasgow and I was starving, and I heard the commotion. I opened the door and I said, "Mate, what's going to happen with the chips?" And he said, "Oh, we're just going to put them in the bin." And I said, "No, sorry, I'll take them in here." And that was it. So it was like, as I say, as long as you put yourself in the story. I was starving, so.
One of the things that I found, you know, since I've been trying to do stand-up, is I do every now and then think, I hear something that I think is really funny and think, I'd love to nick that. And it was like, and there was a thing that you do about doing work experience in Poundland, and I thought, I want that.
I'll sell you.
I couldn't afford it. It's the work fair, isn't it?
This was again about the work. This was in the height of my Che Guevara revolution period. That was just about when David Cameron said you need to get the work experience to stop slipping into depression. And in Poundland were one of the shops that signed up to the work fair. And my joke was there's nothing more depressing than working in Poundland for no wages, working in a shop where everything is worth a quid except you. Which is Terry Christian's joke.
I mean, one of the big breaks for you was you did Michael McIntyre, didn't you?
Yes.
And how much of a difference did that make to you?
It was a break that I needed, I think, because I was on gigging in the circuit and I was getting a wee bit fed up just playing the same clubs and playing 20-minute sets. But in Glasgow, I was playing like solo shows. I was getting a bit of a following. Nowhere near the level that obviously after the TV show. But I'd sold like 3 or 4 nights in like a 300-seat theatre during the Glasgow Comedy Festival. So it was getting to the stage I was enjoying playing to my own crowd in like longer sets. So I was playing like an hour and a half each night. I think you get a lot better because you're not just rushing against, I better get this joke finished before this guy in the stag do throws a chicken wing on the stage. And now you learn how to tell a story and enjoy it, and then that show obviously led to people saying, "Oh, who's that guy?" And then they'll come along and see you, and then it got me going. And it sells some tickets, and it's up to you to build on the crowd and write the material. But fortunately, I was ready for it. It went on TV. It was like 7 or 8 minutes, and like my best. It was my dream, my starting 11, but I still had the squad ready. It gave me a break, and it got people aware. I was always pretty keen to make my TV debut as a stand-up. I'd been offered loads of panel shows and loads of like the talking head shows and stuff, but then you're kind of known as that guy that was on that thing rather than that's that guy that's stand-up. So I was quite grateful that I got to go on TV for the first time doing what I do rather than an advert or something like that.
I was going to say the panel shows are peculiar. You know, I've done them, you know, like Would I Lie to You and 8 Out of 10 Cats, and, you know, you got like David Mitchell there, but they always used to make me feel a bit like I was the guy who'd come in to fix a plumbing. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like some posh kid flicking a wet towel at you.
Sometimes I just do the panel shows on this voice. I just start talking like this. I think I might do one. I might go on 8 out of 10 Cats and just speak like this. I always use that accent when I read negative reviews on TripAdvisor. I always read them in that wee internal Middle England voice. We found the rooms a little cramped to staff. The staff couldn't have been more apologetic, but this wasn't enough for us as we were totally ruined our stay and we won't be back. Oh. It's my TripAdvisor accent.
But they hate it, don't they? And
who's they? Are we going to start a revolution here, Terry?
Absolutely. No, but there is that peculiarity, you know, when it's down in London, if you start going, you're going out later. They hate, and yet they're going, all right, Teddy, that's okay. Actually, that's a bit bad, isn't it? Me trying to do a Manchester accent. But they always...
It's the most stereotyped conversation that's ever been created.
Fantastic.
All right, Terry. Sometimes I wish I was an American stand-up. Not just an accent that the whole world understands.
When I was 18, I went down to Polytechnic in London for a year, and when I came back, all my mates started saying, "You've turned into a Cockney." No, really.
Did you go to a Polytechnic as well? Every city's got their good uni and then their other uni. For people that were too thick for the good uni but too arrogant for a call centre. There's always...